Welcome back to the show, a solo episode. I believe this is episode 104. Hope you enjoyed the Cam and Tony episode. That was followed by the Tawny episode. Always fun to have guests on, but we're back with the solo show. It is about midnight here. I have to catch a flight in 4 hours to Los Angeles. I have a show out there on the 10th, 11th, and 12th. So I am very excited for that. I am fully packed except for the podcast equipment. As soon as this is done, I got to stuff it all in the backpack. Last time I put the soundboard in my suitcase, and I was treated like a terror threat for having a soundboard. I had to remove everything, and they had to dust my hands off for, I don't know, explosive residue. So just got home from Melbourne, Florida. Had an unbelievable show. Shout out to Jimmy Moynihan. He puts on a hell of a show. It's called Pineapples. The club it's upstairs. They got a huge venue, bar area. It's dope. So look out for the clips to that. And I got daily vlogs coming. So if you like the podcast, you want more, basically all the behind the scenes stuff, like my day to day. You know, I film probably 30 minutes of my day, what I like to think is the highlights, and then I clip that up. So each vlog's between like 5 to, one of them is going to be like 20 minutes. They're like between 5 and 20 minutes. So that's going to be posted on the YouTube and the Rumble every day. And I got a ton of stand-up clips posted on the Instagram, TikTok, YouTube. So if you're not already subscribed, go ahead and hit that subscribe button, like it, share it with a friend. And I appreciate you coming back. I wanted this episode out on Tuesday. Today is Tuesday, and it's midnight, so it's technically Wednesday. But as soon as I get to LA, I will be working on uploading this to all platforms. Had a busy-ass day. I got a much-needed haircut before the show. I went to a different barber, went to a Puerto Rican barbershop. Usually I go to the Dominicans. Went to a Puerto Rican one today, and I sat next to a 12-inch subwoofer. A concert speaker was right next to me, blasting reggaeton. I felt like I was in the passenger seat of a Honda Civic. Put it up, 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 put it up. But the haircut was fire. So I walk in, and everyone's getting their haircut by a barber except for the bald guy. And in the barbershop community, I've been told that you never want to get your haircut by the bald guy. But, you know, let's be real. It's not his fault that he's bald. He can still, just because he doesn't have hair doesn't mean he can't cut yours good. You know, what kind of standard is that? But I get it. You know, you're not going to buy sneakers from the guy that's wearing Crocs. So, was that even a good analogy? I don't know. I can barely keep my eyes open. So that's pretty much it. Vlogs, shows, stand-up. I've been all over the state, super busy. And, 4 a.m. flight to Los Angeles. I'm going to land at, I think, 9 a.m., 8 a.m., because I go back 3 hours. Basically, time traveling. You're going back into the past when you fly to the West Coast. Coming back is a bitch because you lose 3 hours. Either way, a time change is not good. You think 3 hours won't affect you, but yeah, man, just wanted to come and, be consistent. But I've been having a lot of fun with the vlogs. I get a lot of questions. What's it like doing comedy? You know, how is it doing this and that? And it's like, well, I'm going to bring you on the journey with me. So I actually had to go out by the pool this week and lay in the sun because I'm like, I haven't gotten sunlight in 4 days. I've just been editing, and you'll see on the vlogs. It's one of my least favorite things to do. I'm getting better at it, which makes it more fun. But, man, when you're just back to back, like, hour 2. I already can't sit still in a chair. All right, let's get into this news story this week. Flagler Beach, Florida, it's a little bit north of Daytona, had an incident. People are outraged at law enforcement. I think this couldn't have gone any better. So the video is a dad using his baby as a human shield after he kidnapped it from the baby mama, which is, I'm pretty sure, what it means. Otherwise, you can't really kidnap your own kid. It's usually like if you don't have full custody or you're not allowed to see the kid for whatever reason. The dad held the mom at gunpoint, takes his baby on a high-speed police chase, a hot pursuit, if you will, ends up in a McDonald's drive-thru, a busy one, I might add. It has the 2 drive-thru lanes so they can really funnel the fat people through as fast as possible. So the guy ends up with his back against the wall right next to the drive-thru window, and we have the video here. I don't know why the title says, "The man allegedly used a baby as a shield." It's like, what do you mean allegedly? He's literally holding the baby like it's Captain America's shield. If Captain America's shield was a 1-year-old baby in a diaper. Deputies soon spotted Brandon driving recklessly nearby with the child in his lap, crossing over medians and speeding along a parkway. He refused to pull over after cops attempted a traffic stop. At one point, he careened into oncoming traffic, the agency said. He finally turned into a Target shopping center before parking near a McDonald's drive-thru and exiting the vehicle with the boy still in his arms. How did he think that was going to end? He's like, you know what? This high-speed chase isn't working. Let me go ahead and hop out with one flip-flop. Video shows Brandon refusing to put the child down while surrounded by deputies, including a K-9 unit, and backing up against the restaurant's exterior. After a brief standoff, one of the deputies shoots Brandon with a taser and he drops to the ground. An officer immediately scooped up the despaired child and attempted to confront him. Brandon continued to resist arrest before finally being subdued by the aid of the police dog. Here's a case of a domestic situation turning violent, putting a 1-year-old child and innocent drivers in danger. Flagler County Sheriff Rick Staley said. Deputies were confronted with a very chaotic situation and a very combative individual that was putting his child at risk by using the child as a shield. Our deputies did everything they could to quickly rescue the child to safety from the madman and apprehended the suspect. The child was soon returned to his mother. Brandon was treated with injuries sustained by the K-9. Oh yeah, the dog definitely fucked him up. He was arrested and charged with kidnapping, using a minor as a shield, resisting violence, child neglect, fleeing, and eluding and reckless driving. Using a minor as a shield is an actual charge? That's crazy. That's a hell of a charge. They're like, what are you in here for? I used a baby as a shield. All right, we're going to go ahead and play the video here. Hopefully the audio is synced properly. I'm not an audio engineer, so I don't know if this is going to work. Put the baby down! It sounds good in the headphones, so I don't know how it's going to sound to you. Put the kid down! All right, so there's a bunch of cops surrounding him. This is a busy drive-thru, by the way. People thought they were going to get a McFlurry. They didn't realize they were going to watch a McAss-whooping.
Kid down! Put the kid down! Give us the air. Put the kid down, dude!
He's got the baby in his left arm.
Put the kid down!
Here comes the dog, which this is where I think that they messed up is it's hard to resolve a situation or even have a normal conversation with a German Shepherd losing its mind 5 feet from you. Continue watching here. Hopefully the audio is good for you. And everyone was outraged by this, saying, the police could have handled it better. But these are Florida cops. They probably thought that that baby was an accomplice. They go, he is a suspect to the crime. We need to eliminate both these targets. So the dad used the baby as a shield. The cop tased him in the leg. Like, he missed the baby. The baby was fine. Even the way the guy fell, he didn't fall on the kid. He, rolled to the side, and they could scoop him up. The baby didn't sustain any injuries. But for all you know, the cop could have been aiming at the baby. Like, oh, you don't think I won't tase a fucking baby? The guy got up and started to run again after being tased. So, he was obviously on something. My thing is just you didn't really need the K-9 there. It's hard to focus when there's a drooling German Shepherd. And the last article here, I'm going to go try and take a 2-hour nap. Maybe I shouldn't even bother. I don't know. A half-century after the plane crashed into the Andes, the survivors who resorted to cannibalism to stay alive came together this week in Uruguay to remember their grisly ordeal. It was later made into a Hollywood movie in 1993. Wow, I've heard of a high school reunion, but not a 50-year let's eat the ass of the pilot to survive reunion. One passenger said, "Of course the idea of eating human flesh was terrible," said Roman, 70 years old, who was among the passengers who survived 72 days in the Andes Mountains. The Sunday Times of London reported. The group, whom are all still alive, get together on the October 13th anniversary of the crash for a mass to remember the 29 friends and crew members who perished in the crash at an altitude of more than 13,000 feet, according to the outlet. This year was the 50th anniversary of the ordeal. "It was hard to put in your mouth," recalled Sabella, a successful businessman, "but we got used to it. In a sense, our friends were some of the first organ donors in the world. They helped to nourish us and keep us alive." Holy shit. The group made their decision after consuming the food they had on the plane, which included 8 chocolate bars, a tin of mussels, 3 small jars of jam, some almonds and dates, and several bottles of wine. Today, the 16 survivors are a close-knit group who also meet each year on December 22nd, the day the rescue began. They meet for a barbecue of beef steaks and pork sausages and human flesh. Nah, that's fucking crazy, dude. I would be so disappointed once you run out of food. I mean, I would have to consume those bottles of wine just to fathom having to bite into someone's ass. Like, where do you even start? 72 days? I would try to wait as long as possible. But I guess, you know, who am I? I'm not judging by any means. I'm just saying, what an awful situation. You're just in a tube. Aluminum tube in the frozen mountains. No one's coming to rescue you. You've been there 50 days. When do you go, you know what? Pass me some of that ass. Let's eat the pilot first because, let's be honest, he's the one who fucking didn't have this thing checked out before we got on. I mean, you can't blame him. Who knows what happened, but dude, I would be double checking every single cabinet for those pretzels. Like if a Southwest flight went down, I'd be like, are you sure there's no bags of Cheez-Its left? Are there any pretzels left on this plane before I have to fucking eat somebody else? Oh, I'd be so disappointed. Someone just passed me an arm. I'd be like, oh, I do not want to do this shit, dude. God bless him, dude. That's insane. Well, anyway, those are just the 2 articles that caught my attention this week, and I just wanted to update you on what's going on in my world. Be on the lookout for the vlogs and the stand-up clips at I'm Sean Madden on Instagram. I'm Sean Madden on TikTok, Sean Madden on YouTube, Sean Madden on Rumble. This episode is brought to you by Nocturnal Security Solutions. They sent me this dictionary that's not a dictionary. When you open it up, it is a safe, which is pretty cool. You can put it on your shelf and put some of your valuables in there, maybe like a watch or a passport. They sent me this lock. It goes into the inside of your door frame, and then it creates a doorstop. So if you're in an Airbnb or a hotel or even your bedroom, if anyone has a key or a way to access your room, if you install the device, it's called the Night Watch on their website, Nocturnal Security. You'll get 10% off your first order every purchase if you use the link in the description here, whether you're on YouTube or listening to the audio. It'll be there. Go check out their products, man. Super cool. And they support the show, so support them. Also, big shout out to funnycarcovers.com. They sent me a little fire missile button. It's a silly cap for your 12-volt cover. So you see that little thing in your car that says 12V. You can take that boring shit off, and you can put a nitrous button or a fire missile button. It's a dust cover for the charger, the cigarette lighter, the 12-volt outlet in your car. I got the fire missile button. It looks hilarious. I wish it worked. But yeah, check that out, man. Nocturnal Security and funnycarcovers.com. Love you guys. I will see you soon.
You want to smoke something?
You've seen him perform all over LA. Give it up for Sean Madden, everybody.
What have we got here? A fucking comedian.
This joke's not gonna go well.